I want to spend today talking a little bit about the sugar program within the Farm Bill, because it is absolutely significant and important. And I know Senator Hoeven just outlined some of the statistics that we talk about when we talk about sugar. But the U.S. sugar policy defends more than 142,000 jobs, not just in North Dakota, not just in Minnesota, not in Florida and Hawaii, but in 22 states. And it defends those jobs from unfair foreign competition. And it results in nearly $20 billion in annual economic activity in the United States. Of course, many of these jobs are in North Dakota. We grow a lot of sugar beets in the Red River Valley. We process a lot of sugar beets in the Red River Valley, and those processing jobs are the value-added jobs that led the way in value-added economies in our state. And so we're pretty protective of our sugar economy. In many rural communities, sugar is the linchpin of the local economy. If we lose the sugar program, make no mistake, if we bend to the reforms that you're going to hear talked about, if we bend to the ideas that you have today about the sugar program, we will lose our domestic sugar industry. Why? Because we can't compete. Make no mistake, I'm not saying that our producers can't produce or compete with producers from other parts of the world if the playing field is level. In fact, not only can we compete, we can best them. But the playing field is not level in sugar. Other countries have subsidized their sugar programs for years. More than 120 countries actually produce sugar. Every one of them intervened to defend their producers from global prices where surplus sugar is dumped. None could survive at historic world-level prices without these government interventions. If our farmers could go head-to-head with their foreign counterparts, they would robustly compete and, I believe, capture much of the market. Unfortunately, with federal subsidization and protections in place, a fair fight's not available to our American sugar beet and cane growers. Opponents of the sugar program would have us do one thing: unilaterally disarm and surrender our market to foreign producers. For over 2 decades, from 1989 to 2008, and I want you to remember that date, 2008, the average world cost of sugar production averaged about 51% more than the world price. Let me say that again. The world average cost of sugar production averaged 51% more than the sugar price. How do you do that? How do you produce a product that costs more than what you sell it for? You're subsidized. This means that sugar producers have received support from governments that allow them to stay in business even when their production costs exceed the market price. In order for their sugar industries to survive, governments in foreign countries provide some buffer to the world market. With a wide variety of import tariffs, non-tariff import barriers, price and income supports, and direct and indirect subsidies. You know, we have heard that sugar prices are too high, and if we eliminate the sugar program, the risk program for our sugar growers, that sugar prices would drop. Food Corporation opponents say that the U.S. sugar price is too high. They further argue that high sugar prices threaten their competitiveness given foreign competition for processed foods. You know, the truth is that sugar prices have held relatively stable over the course of the last 3 decades. This cannot be said about most other agricultural commodities. Imagine today if we were debating about $2 a bushel corn. U.S. raw sugar prices have dropped by more than half since the fall of 2011. Prices now are below the average price of the 1980s and below the average of the 1990s and below the average of the decade of 2000. Our sugar farmers have struggled for decades and may not have survived. Since 1985, more than half of the sugar beet and sugar cane operations shut down. It's hard to survive in 2013 when the price you get for your product is the same price you would have received in 1980. The amendment that we're going to be debating here will drive the U.S. sugar price down even further, allowing more subsidized sugar to flow into our market and put our sugar farmers out of business.